So yeah, let me take you back 13 years ago. And I just absent-mindedly scratched right here. And I was like, whoa, I got a lump. I talked to the doctor. Yep, he got a lump. He did a couple of things, and we talked about me being healthy. I'm a healthy person. I was young. And I didn't have a history of cancer in my immediate family. So he's like, it's maybe nothing, but I'm gonna send you for imaging. So, went to imaging, they confirmed, yeah, you got a lump. And then they scheduled another biopsy, so I went for a biopsy. And all these doctors that I'm talking to, we kept focusing on, I was young, I was healthy, and I didn't have a history of cancer in my immediate family. So luckily that really put my mind at ease. I'm gonna be okay, didn't bother me, until the doctor called. And he said, I'm not gonna waste your time with an appointment. It's cancer, we got it early, and we're gonna be aggressive with this and we're gonna move now. I had triple negative breast cancer, which in layman's terms, and correct me if I'm wrong, doctors, this is how I understand it. They test your tumor sample for receptors. There's estrogen, progesterone, and HER2. You could be positive for one of them, you can be positive for any combination of two of them, you can be positive for all three of them, and that kind of directs your treatment. I was triple negative, so they don't know what caused my cancer. They only know that they have to hit me with everything, and we're gonna move quick. I was a grade 3, we were going fast. So it was surgery, strong chemotherapy, and radiation. Now, I had a lumpectomy, and a lot of people ask, why did you do the lumpectomy over the mastectomy? And for me, I really didn't want to do chemo, really bad. I talked to 3 different doctors, hoping one of them would say, hey, you don't have to do chemo, you're fine. But no, all 3 of them said chemo. So I went with the lumpectomy because with the mastectomy, you got larger scars, you've got drains. I'm like, I don't want to deal with all that, so lumpectomy it was. Then chemo. The kind of chemo that's so strong, my hair fell out after the first treatment. It's AC is the initials for it. Some people call it the red devil because it makes you really sick, really sick. And they put me on something called dose dense, which means instead of getting chemo every 3 weeks, I'm gonna get it every 2 weeks. And the thought behind that is, number 1, you get chemo done earlier, sign me up. Number 2, it doesn't give the cancer cells time to bounce back, because they're just gonna keep hitting them and keep hitting them. And the problem with that is it also doesn't give your good cells a chance to bounce back. So after every chemo, I got sicker and weaker for longer periods of time. After my 4th chemo, I was so sick. Some people say it's like having a bad flu. For me, it was like the worst hangover you could ever imagine, times 100. You're throwing up, you're weak, you just can't do anything. And you're in bed most of the time, anytime you can. I did work through a lot of it though. Thank you to work for keeping my mind off of things. So after that 4th chemo, I barely made it to the next chemo. It was that hard. Now, my mom came down to help take care of me. And that's when I told her I quit. I couldn't take this anymore. I gotta give a shout out to my husband real quick. Steve, oh, sorry, you're right there now. So, he's not only watching me suffer through this, and he can't do anything to help me, except change the bed sheets. I love you. But he also had to live with his mother-in-law for 8 months. He's a saint. So imagine this. I am sick in bed. My mom made me chicken noodle soup, straight out of the can, just like I remember when I was a kid. I could barely eat it. And she's sitting on the edge of my bed. And I told her, I quit. I can't do this. I can't take it anymore. I can't be this sick. It's just awful. So, talked about it, prayed about it, and I decided I'm going to tell the doctor at my next appointment. I was going to ask him if he could cut the dose in half, or I was going to quit. That was it. And I started thinking about all the people I was letting down. I was letting my mom down. I was letting my husband down. I was letting my friends and family down. Everybody was praying for me. Oh my gosh, all the listeners that had been following my journey, they were calling and saying how strong I was, and here I was really weak. And then all the notes of encouragement that they would send me, and I was letting them down. What kind of role model am I? I was a quitter. I was a horrible person. It was terrible. So then I go to my next appointment. You meet with the doctor first before they hook you up to chemo. He comes in the room, bouncing like he's Tigger from Winnie the Pooh, and he says, "Today's your lucky day. You get off AC and we start Taxol." And I was like, wait, what? I thought this whole time I was gonna be on AC and Taxol. I didn't know they separated them. Because all I know is that I had a tree with a bunch of bags on it, and they would just go from one bag to another to do the chemo. Oh my gosh. He said Taxol is easier to tolerate, patients like it a lot better, you get a whole nother set of side effects, but you're gonna like it. It won't make you sick. Yes. And he's right. It didn't make me throw up or anything like that, but it does have its set of side effects. The day after my chemo, I'm sitting in my office, and a coworker came in, and I turned to look at him, and he said, "Go look in the mirror." So I looked in the mirror, and I was full of blotches. I was really allergic to Taxol. Called the doctor. He said, "We want to keep you on it because the alternative will make you sick. And we want to keep you on Taxol as long as we can. So the plan is to load you up with steroids and keep loading you up with steroids, and hopefully we can get through this regimen." And we did, and by the end, I looked like a bowling ball. I was bald and I was super round, but I did it. I made it through chemo. And then it was on to radiation. 36, 38, 30 something, because you have so much radiation, you just lose track. So I made it through that. And so that's why I'm standing here as a survivor. I made it. But I'm going to be watched for the rest of my life. And I have a new doctor. I now have a cardiologist. Because chemo's bad for your heart. And because it was on my left side, they can do their best with radiation not to hit the heart, but there's no guarantee. And so, some of those side effects, some of that damage may show up years later. But still, I'm a survivor. Thank you. Thank you. So think about the researchers right now that are this close to a cure or this close to prevention. They're this close and they need our money to help them finish. Or what about the scientist who just had an epiphany last night? He's like, this just might work. We need to help them. We need to give them money. use that QR code and let's donate all that we can to help them out. I don't think about, normally doctors and scientists and researchers needing our help. I mean, you're the smart one, but they do. They need our help. They need our money, and that's why we need you to donate. Please. So, Debbie Craig gave me a list of all the things that the Ocala Royal Dames that they have helped fund, and immediately it jumped off the page to me. Keytruda. I am a member of a Facebook page for triple-negative breast cancer patients, and oh my gosh, I would say at least 3/4 of them are on Keytruda. That's one of the things that the Ocala Royal Dames have helped. Also, of the institutions here tonight, one of them is mine. And when I started my journey, I signed a piece of paper that said, yes, use my tumor, use my tissues for research. So your dollars are going to help slice and dice my tumor, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's teamwork, that's what we're doing. It's teamwork. I have a friend named Nan, and when I was diagnosed, Nan told me 20 years prior she had breast cancer. I didn't even know. And she warned me of the days that you're going to cry for no reason, or the days that you're just crumpled on the ground and frustrated and crying because it's the most simplest of things and you can't do it because you're too weak. And I did have those days, but there was something that Nan told me that I have kept with me all this time, and she said that her doctor told her that a cure for cancer is coming in our lifetime. And I believe that 100%. So, I am the youngest of 4. I have 2 brothers and a sister. I'm the baby of the family. And we don't have a history of cancer in my immediate family. 6 years after I was diagnosed, one of my brothers, prostate cancer. About a year and a half ago, my sister, breast cancer. Hers is hormone-based, and she had to have a lumpectomy and radiation, and that's it. And only 5 rounds of radiation. You can count hers on one hand. That's how far we have come. We're making great strides, and we just need to keep doing it. And one more. Just last month, my mom, the woman who made me chicken noodle soup when I was sick and sat on the edge of my bed and listened to me cry, is diagnosed with breast cancer. I can't believe it. So please donate. Don't put a limit on what you can donate tonight, because it is going for a good cause. And I want to thank you all for listening so intently. And I hope I didn't ruin your night, but I want to thank the Ocala Royal Dames for doing this and collecting the money and putting it toward a wonderful cause. Thank you very much.